Nice. That's one of them new Ben Franklins you count there, baby Bob.
You don't stop.
Gotta get that money.
You don't stop.
Oh man, this is how we do it. East, west, west.
So today we're gonna talk about how to get your girl or the girl you dating or talking to, seeing in a relationship, whatever. How to get her to get off your back about the next level or the next step or where is this going. So this is for my guys who are either intimate with a chick, exclusive with a chick, dating a chick, y'all are together. Y'all may be, boyfriend, girlfriend, officially, just whatever. But this is how to get her off of your back about pressing you about the next level. And also to educate you on why, naturally, as a man, you really ain't trying to hear that shit in the first place. So, number one. So let's talk about the nature of a woman. So, the nature of a woman, then we'll talk about fundamentals. Nature of the woman is that she's going to need to feel important. She needs to feel validated. A lot of times, even more so than a guy or more so than a man, because a lot of her point of view, a lot of her self-perspective and things are tied to her direct value system. So she wants to know that she's adding value to your life. She wants to know that she has a important position in your life. A lot of that is just based off, female nature. That's just how they're built. They're very status and destination driven. They're not so journey driven the way that men are. And that's not a good or bad thing. That is just the way that it is. So she's going to need constant validation. And she's always going to be looking for the next best thing as a woman. So either next best position, next best, financial opportunity, next best guy, whatever. All right. And that is not saying anything bad about women. That is just the way they're built. If you pay attention to the things that they talk about and how they view their life progression or things that they deem important, you'll notice a trend of constant need of upward mobility, which is not a bad thing. But you do have to understand that women are not capable of loving idealistically. They are only capable of loving opportunistically. Can't even say that word. But they're in love with the opportunity, not you. All right, big ass words, I can't say them. So they're in love with the opportunity, not you. And that may piss a lot of people off and may make a lot of people mad, but it's just the truth. A woman is in love with the opportunity from you or through you, not you as an actual living human being. She's in love with the opportunity. So that opportunity is not always money. So don't start going crazy about being a gold digger and it being financially driven all the time. Sometimes it is the opportunity to be around a quality man. Sometimes it is the opportunity of having a really good sex partner. Sometimes it's the opportunity to learn something from that man. Sometimes it's the opportunity of having, really good offspring or offspring potential with that man, or being a part of his business or his growth, and then we start to talk about money, right? So it's not always a financial gold digger situation. Sometimes it is the opportunity just to be around a high value man, and that high value is dependent on, whatever woman you're talking to specifically and what her specific wants and desires are. But the nature of every woman is the same. If there's no opportunity, if there's not an opportunity attached to her dealing with you, okay, and that opportunity is different for every woman, then she's not going to be interested. So you have to figure out what opportunity she's looking for or looking forward to. And then that's how you judge on whether or not the relationship is healthy or beneficial for her. Okay. But she doesn't really necessarily care about you. She cares about you as it relates to her and the opportunity she's receiving. All right. So just a little bit of backstory knowledge on the nature of a woman. Like I said, don't go bashing women or calling them bad for being this way. This is just how they are. It's nothing they can do to change it, regardless of how hard they try. But it's all good. Just deal with it, understand it, and move on. Know that as a man, you love differently than a woman loves, regardless of what she says. Because if you take the opportunity away from her to really thrive or be safe or feel secure or be validated, then she's probably looking for your replacement and out the door. It is what it is. Don't take it the wrong way, or try not to. All right. But let's get into the real tips here. So, number one tip to getting her off of your back about where this is going is to make sure you are who you want to be a year from now. Okay? So when you meet her, or when you meet new women, a lot of times we make the mistake of trying to do a whole lot of extra stuff we normally don't do, or things that we know internally we probably won't be able to keep up for a very long period of time. When we do that, what we do is we set a false standard or false foundation for the long-term experience for that woman. So what happens is that you show her one thing way up here because you're super fresh, you hit the ground running, you got a lot of energy to impress this woman. And then over time, you naturally start to bring it down, not in a bad way, just you bring it down even level to who you actually are. And some guys go from doing the entire most to being, the piece of shit you always were, because you can only hold up this facade for so long. So what you want to do is start off neutral and be who you want to be after you've already established getting her. What that allows you to do is stop some of the residual headache that you get from a woman, because if she's already bought into from the beginning who you are as a person, that takes a lot of pressure off of you to provide her with all of these brand new things, or she's missing the way it used to be and she wants to know when they can go back to that, or she wants to know what the next level up is or whatever. So also what that does too is it provides you to do, if you're already neutral, you can do special things for her. So when you do something special, she can appreciate it without that being the standard that you have to upkeep. All right. And it's not about you being lazy or not wanting to keep a high standard. It's about your peace of mind and your longevity for yourself as a man. So be neutral, be who you want to be long term in the beginning, so when you do special things for her, she can appreciate them, and that will feed her need for, recurring residual validation and a little bit of, turbulence that, women desire. Not negative turbulence, but just a little bit of like, ooh, that was fun and new. So when you stay neutral, you can do things all the time, consistently, that are fun and neutral, and then fun and exciting, and then go back to being who you actually are, so she can appreciate both. And then if you ever fall below standard, you have a little bit of buffer room, because you're consistently in this range. So if you do fall below standard, or if something happens, that'll just, resort to proper communication until you can get yourself back neutral. So neutral meaning, your financial situation, emotional situation, physical situation, whatever have you. But be who you want to be long term in the beginning, so you don't have to deal with setting this super high standard and then her believing that that is neutral, and that it's not. You just did that to get her. You did that to get her in the bedroom, or you did that to get her on the date. And now that she has agreed and signed this contract, everything you do below here, okay, is like you lying to her or selling her a dream. Even though this was just you trying to live your best life and really put your best foot forward. As a woman, she doesn't see it like that. She believes this to be the standard. So if you make this the standard, you'll attract a better type of woman for yourself. And then that way, when you do things that are above and beyond protocol that you set, that you control, she'll really appreciate them. And then when it goes back to here, she'll be looking forward to the next episode of excitement instead of feeling like it needs to be here all the time. All right. They're not really built to naturally understand that. And then if you have to get into these battles of really educating them all the time, she'll feel turned off, and then you'll feel drained, and the shit'll just blow up anyway. All right. Video about to stop. So we back. So we talked about staying neutral and being who you want to be for the rest of your life up front, so that she doesn't have a false sense of reality going into the situation based on who you are as a person. Okay. Number one thing number two thing that ties into the number one thing is verbally express your core values and what is important to you for yourself, and what it is and how you envision a partnership with a woman. All right. This is really important. I feel like not enough people really talk about these things in the beginning. So you get into it, and a lot of women you meet, they'll have this preconceived notion of what's supposed to happen and what things are supposed to look like, and they're Prince Charming and walking down the aisle with the wedding dress and having a whole bunch of kids or having a whole bunch of money, just whatever. And the dude just be sitting there like, well, shit, as long as I can get some of that ass every week, I'm good, you know. And then you go through all this drama with the chick, wondering where it came from, and it's because she's living in a very specific world, and she's not really tapped into the nature of how things work or the fundamental needs of something. She's just looking at specific. So a lot of women, you know, they tend to get stuck on those checklist items, and they really don't understand, you know, the nature of how something is, or they have one-sided nature of how something is, you know, when they say shit like all men are dogs or all men cheat, or just, you know, shit like that, you know. So I say that to say, when you get with a chick and you've established that, hey, you know, this is something, we're going to be intimate, we're going to be communicating on a regular basis. We need to sit down and talk about what's important to you, what's important to me, what that looks like, why it looks like that, how I operate as a person, how you operate as a person, so that we never have any blurred lines, so that, you know, you can at least hold her accountable for the things that she's thinking or feeling, or the things that come out of her mouth or whatever, because from day one, you've established, this is who I am, period. This is who I am. You can't say you were sold a dream. You can't come at me sideways. I told you from jump, this is how I move verbally, and these are what my actions look like consistently, okay? So she can't ever come at you sideways about shit. And if she does, be ready to walk away immediately, all right? So, number 3, all right? Not living in a perfect world, staying prepared. Even if you do the first 2 things, very reasonable. She's still going to get in her feelings. She's still going to get emotional. She's still going to try to press you or challenge you or shit test you, as some people call it, in some type of way. So what you do is, if you know it's coming, if you know the war is coming, don't wait for them to show up to your front door with cannonballs and flaming sticks and swords picking a fight with you. You bring the fight to them. You keep your peace of mind. So when I say bring the fight to them, that doesn't mean start petty arguments. That doesn't mean activate feminine energy and try to be more catty than her, all right? All that means is stay in your masculine frame and control the situation from a masculine perspective, and you set check-in appointments with her on a monthly basis, all right? So that way, regardless of what y'all talked about, every month y'all go out to eat, or she comes over, or y'all have a phone conversation about how y'all both are feeling about each other and where shit is going based on your perspective in her perspective of the current situation. This gives you time to talk about things that you don't like, that you're seeing or that you're noticing, or certain patterns of behavior, or ask in-depth, detailed questions about, well, I noticed a couple weeks ago, you got really flustered about such and such doing this or saying that or whatever. That kind of makes me feel like if that were, to happen between us, you would respond that way to me, or, just bring up certain things that you're noticing. But with that being said, that is not one-sided. So know that she's going to have the leverage and the opportunity to question and ask you about certain things that she may not like, or she may find unsettling or a concern about you as well. So don't come into it thinking like, yeah, I'm about to control this chick. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. This is going to give her the playing ground and room and capacity to ask you deep questions, or ask you, where your thoughts are, where you're coming from, or how you feel about certain stuff too. So, but these are 3 things that you can do just to really neutralize the whole anxiety behind her questioning you, or starting to act funny, or starting to give you the runaround, or starting to be like, a pain in the neck about certain stuff. All right. So top of the list was to be who you want to be long term from the jump. Don't do a whole lot of things that are out of character just to impress her, because she'll understand and feel like that's the standard. And then when you can't hold those things up, she'll feel like you're falling below standard. All right. Number 2 is to verbally express and discuss your core values, things that are important to you, why those things are important to you, what your plan is and vision is for yourself as a person, and then what your ideal relationship or partnership looks like, so she fully understands where she fits into that and what she may or may not be bringing to the table in regards to how your life is set up, okay? And number 3, require monthly check-ins. Hold both of you accountable to monthly check-ins. This eliminates the whole random emotional fits, or her becoming distant, or starting to text you back, or, all late or goofy, or giving you short answer text, or out of nowhere she's wearing makeup and hoochie shorts and going out with her friends talking about she stayed out late all night, or just some dumb shit like that. Now you're worried, or you're throwing a fit, or you're operating in a feminine space trying to, call her out, or all this goofy shit. All right. Require monthly check-ins. Hold both of y'all accountable, so that if somebody starts fucking up, or somebody starts to go against the grain, you can chunk dudes, pack your bags, get out of there. She ain't the one. She don't respect you. She doesn't see you as a high value man, or somebody to really cherish as a particular part of their life that they want to hold on to. So that makes it really easy for you to walk away when she starts tripping. All right. So like, comment, subscribe. This video will be posted in the lifestyle section of this YouTube page, and I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.